Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we're gonna continue to build our DevTechie Courses app, and we're gonna get started by creating a new view now. And in this video, we're gonna focus on course detail view. So let's go ahead and this time choose a new file from new template, and we're gonna name this course detail view. All right, we've got our preview created for us. Let's go into the card view, and what we want to do is we want to get this line right here, and we'll just put it here. So course is equal to this. So whenever we need course, we have a course available for us to use. Now card detail view, similar to the course detail view, similar to the card view, is going to expect a course to be passed in, but we also want to see all the courses that are there, so we can basically display all the other courses as a related courses category. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a course, which is going to be a course type. Again, initializer will be created for you, so there you have it. It's we're gonna say apply, and I'm gonna change this, and instead of extracting out a single course here, we're gonna extract that single course right here by reading what is in at the 0th index. Now we're gonna create another variable, courses. This is gonna be an array of course, and if we don't do anything, initializer again will be updated, and it'll expect us to pass list of courses as well. And this is where we're gonna use our courses array that we are fetching from here. There we go. So our view is ready to be laid out. Now we're gonna start with something called scroll view. Now scroll view is similar to your list view, but a little bit lighter. So basically what scroll view does is it provides you ability to put any content inside it, and it makes it scrollable. So when the scroll view is displayed, it's displaying its content within a scrollable content region, and within that region, user can basically use the scroll gesture to scroll vertically or horizontally. Okay, now you can limit how the scroll view actually works and how to basically apply which direction you're going by setting its scroll direction. By default, scroll view basically scrolls in vertical direction. Okay, so we're gonna just create our scroll view and leave it without any parameters, but you can actually change it by opening parentheses, and you can defining that, hey, there's a indicator, access indicator, and stuff like that you should be using. Okay, actually, you know what? Now the scroll indicators are or initializers are deprecated, so the future version of iOS will use scroll indicator modifier. So we'll actually we should use that instead. Okay, so you can simply set scroll indicator indicators visibility and access. Okay, so you can define the indicator visibility, whether you should show the indicator all the time, hidden, never show it, and you can also set the access, which is your vertical, horizontal, whatever, right? Okay, we're gonna leave the default value. Once again, if you want to read and take a deep dive, visit devtechie.com and you'll find a resource there. Okay, now we're gonna go back into our scroll view, and inside the scroll view we're gonna create something called ZStack. Now we've seen VStack and HStack. So VStack lays out items on a vertical plane, basically top to bottom, all the child views. Your horizontal stack lays out views in a horizontal line. The Z stack basically lays out views on a Z axis, meaning top to bottom, they lay out on the top. So let's imagine this was 3D plane, then something will sit behind, and on the top of that, you're gonna set another view. Okay, so that's how Z stack works. It actually works in Z direction. Okay, what we can use this Z stack for is to create backgrounds. And that's what we're gonna basically use for. Now it expects some properties, and we're gonna set like, one property alignment, or like, this parameter basically helps us how the content is aligned or how the child views are aligned. We're gonna say they are aligned bottom leading. Okay, so everything is gonna start from bottom leading space, and then we're gonna start with an image. Okay, now this image is expecting basically some sort of resource that is available in your assets.resource file. And as you can see, we have this DevTechie logo here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna access this using dot operator. Okay, now what it does is any resource that you add inside the assets, Xcode will try to create a resource file for that. And what it's doing right now is it has created this image.dt to be displayed. Now alternatively, you can always use a string and reference your file using string, and as you can see, nothing changed. Basically our view is still loading just fine. Now this is more error prone because there are chances where you're gonna mistype something, or like, some accidental keystroke can basically mess up the name of the string, and then you don't have that resource basically located, so you're gonna see an error in your screen, okay, or in your console log. So this is the the best way, the more compiler safe way to do it. So we're gonna actually stick to this. Now one thing we want to do is we want to make this image resizable, so we can make it scale to fit. That means image should be scaled to fit the screen. Now in this case, when we say scale to fit, it's trying to fit on the width side, and appropriately is determining what the height should be, so image does not lose its aspect ratio. Right, in this case this is a squared image, so that's why it's displayed at the at the top with fully covered horizontal space and partially covered vertical to maintain the aspect ratio. Next, we can say that our frame should have height of 400 points. Okay, HEIGHT height. There we go. So what we are saying is what we are telling our view that if, let's say, this view grew to be big on iPad space, for example, or on Mac, in that case, what should be the behavior? The behavior should be that height should not grow more than 400. So we are fixing the height at 400. Okay, now we can actually set it as max height as well. I'll just leave it at height. We want to make, but we want to also say is anything outside this constraint, it should be clipped. So if the image is overflowing, it should be clipped so it's not taking over other content. Okay, so now we have our image, the header image, ready to go. Right underneath, or right on top, we're going to show course.title. Okay, so we're going to show our courses title on the top, and let's go ahead and set the font to be title 3. Let's go ahead and set the foreground style for the font as primary, and let's go ahead and set the padding. Now, where is our font? Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the instead of being in this live mode, we're gonna go in this selectable mode. And if you select your text view, you can see that text is basically displayed right here. Just the problem is that our logo has a white background, and it's basically the text also has a white background, so which is why it's not being displayed correctly. Now we can, let's see if we can try to use a different color. Let's use the red color. Okay, now when you use a different color, you can see like, the text is there. It's just like, hiding in the plain sight. Okay, what else we can do here? We can say that the max width, so frame max width, we're gonna set it to infinity. Okay, so it takes over the entire space. Now notice when this was not there, text was only taking the space that was needed for it to display all the content. After setting the frame as like max width infinity, is taking the rest of the space, whatever it can take, right? So that's great. Now let's go ahead and add a glass effect to this. We're gonna use our regular glass effect to create this regular. Now you can actually choose a few options. For example, you can have clear. Okay, you can have interactive or tinted. Okay, so there are like, a few options here. Let's go ahead and stick to regular. Okay, so our text is displayed nicely here. Now right under this, what we want to do is we want to display a VStack. Okay, so in the scroll view, we have our main header view. Then we're going to show a VStack with the alignment of leading. And let's go ahead and set the spacing as well as 12 points. Now inside the VStack, we want to display courses price, duration, and description. So I'm going to copy this from the from our old card view and gonna display it right here. So similar to like, what we did earlier, we can actually do that. Now we want to add some padding around this view, so we have a little bit breathing room between these elements and also these. Okay, now let's go ahead and also, so we are displaying basically the course detail. Now we have like, this empty space. This is where we want to show a scroll view to scroll all the other courses. So user can basically browse through other courses as well. So I'm just going to put a comment here that related courses area. Okay, so this is where like, our related courses is gonna go. We need to create a view, so we're not gonna create it right now. What we want to do is we want to actually make this view completely ready, and then we're gonna create our related course after that. Okay, so we're gonna go into our scroll view, and first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that it is ignoring safe area at the edges top. Okay, so we have our view basically fully covering the top of the screen. Okay, all right, so there's one more thing that we can do. Right now we can see these edges basically bleeding out, and I feel a better effect would be if we clip this in a shape of maybe a circle. So let's go ahead and clip the content in shape circle, and that actually makes our view a little bit much better because we have a nice looking DevTechie logo here. We have our view, and you can see that the light is refracting right here. That's like, the effect of liquid glass that's shown up here. Okay, and that's what like, basically this glass effect is doing to this view. Okay, now if you disable the glass effect, you can see that light refraction is gone, and the text or the logo appears to be on the top because the text is white color, so that's why. But I feel like, this is a much better visual for like, our view. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at this. Now let's go ahead and continue to move forward. What we want to do is we want to add a button to add item to cart. Okay, now we will use something called safe area bar. Now safe area bar, what it does is it provides us the ability to add content that's always visible, sticky at certain safe area location. So you have 4 safe areas. You have top and bottom, and you have leading and trailing. Okay, now mostly you're gonna want to leave this area off because you have your system icons or system settings located right here within the app. So that's much more user friendly to leave this area out. You can actually define something in this area or leading and trailing. Okay, so we're gonna set this at the bottom edge for the safe area, and the content is gonna be in H stack. Inside that, we're gonna first add a spacer so we can move our view on the trailing edge, and then we're gonna create a button. The button is gonna have some action, and that action we're not gonna define right now, but it's also gonna have a label. So we're gonna use a label view, and label view, what it does is it actually provides us ability to add a text and an image. So we're gonna say this is basically add to cart button. We're gonna have a system image, and this is gonna be a plus button right here for the system image. Now let's go ahead and style it a little bit. So we're gonna set the font to be title 3, so it's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna add some padding around this button. Okay, and we're gonna set the button style, and the button style is gonna be glass. Okay, so it's gonna have like the glass style, and you can actually touch it and hover around, and you can see that light effect right here from the liquid glass. Now we want to disable this button on certain conditions, so you're gonna say disable condition comes here, and then right underneath we're gonna add some padding at the trailing edge, so button actually moves away a little bit from the trailing. Okay, and there we have like our add to cart button ready. Okay, so user can click on it to add this item to the cart. All right, with that we have reached the end of this video where we finished our course detail view. The only thing that's left is basically this related course view, which we're gonna add next, and then this disable condition is gonna be back when we are adding the checkout capability, because we want to know when to disable this button. And the condition is going to be when the item is already in the cart. We don't want to add it another time. So we're gonna basically make this button conditional, with some more settings as well. And action is also going to be populated at that time. All right, so let's go ahead and hop on to the next video where we're going to create our related courses view. I'll see you guys there. Thank you.